Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll call our first piece of the meeting to order, which includes two public hearings. The first public hearing is to conduct a public hearing regarding the City of Buckhannon's submission of a FEMA grant application for Taylor Street Storm Sewer Collection Project. This will be a phase 1. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak on that public hearing relative to the Taylor Street Storm Sewer Collection System project? Going once, going twice. All right. I will declare public hearing number 1 to be open and closed. Now we go to public hearing number 2. This is to conduct a public hearing regarding the City of Buckhannon's submission of a FEMA grant, a 5% initiative grant application for the proposed E911 addressing project. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak on that? Nancy?
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Could you bring the microphone? Yeah,
there you go. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I know all of you know me, and as a matter of fact, I've seen some of you 3 times today at various meetings. But I'll introduce myself for the minutes. My name is Nancy Shobe, and I live at 105 West Lincoln. I am here this evening to object to the readdressing of the entire city limits. I served on the City Council for several years and was on when this was first brought up. The Council spent considerable time weighing the pros and cons of this matter. We concluded that it was not worth the hassle for our residents to have to change everything that had their old address on it. In the My Buckhannon article stated that there was approximately 230 problem areas that have half numbers, and the post office has a problem with those. I ask you to try and fix those problems, but leave the rest of the city alone. You have an elderly population in this city, and my concern is that many will not have anyone to help them change their address for everything that needs to be changed if this goes through. I can put 105 West Lincoln Street, Buckhannon, West Virginia into my GPS, and it will tell me exactly where my house is, and even sometimes show me a picture of my house. I understand the need for this in the county because there were route numbers and box numbers. But in the city, we have street and house numbers. If somehow the city could require all houses to display their house number on their house properly, that would be more helpful to first responders than changing every building in the city. I know this is a public hearing for a FEMA grant to help with the cost for the E911. But I know from my service with the city that if you apply and are approved, then it's pretty much a done deal. I don't feel the citizens have been given enough notice that the city is even considering this, and I ask you to stop and give the residents a chance to have input, because after all, it's them that this will affect. Thank you for listening, and I ask for you to fix the problems that need to be fixed and don't bother something that has worked for years. Thank you.
Thank you. Vicki?
I'm good.
Lynn?
I'm Lynn Shaner and live in the city of Buckhannon on East Lincoln Street. I'm against the FEMA grant application for the proposed emergency 911 addressing project. I believe it would be a misuse of FEMA dollars for our city. I do think it would be helpful to EMS to require residents to prominently display their house numbers of their street on their homes. The cost of this proposal project to our citizens for something unnecessary. Time is money, and the time and effort to change everything from our driver's license, our passports, bank accounts, social security, also unnecessary. The cost and effort the city put into our beautiful new street signs, GPS, the Waze apps, Google Maps. We already have the technology needed to find residents in emergencies. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to address council, relative to this public hearing for the proposed E911 addressing project? Jay?
I'm just going to address one of Nancy's concerns. Once this grant is approved, or if it is approved, one of the steps that we have to go through before it's advertised for bidding and being awarded is we have to have another public hearing to discuss the project in itself. You know, tonight is merely the first step. It wasn't like this in the past, but now we have to have public hearings to even submit the grants that we want to submit on. So that's the purpose of tonight. There will be other, or at least another public hearing regarding this, but that is down the road if the grant is approved. And I just wanted to put that out there for clarification. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask? I just wanted to ask a question on that matter. How will the citizens be notified? You know, because some of them don't get the Buckhannon, some of them don't get the Record Delta, some of them don't have computers that they can put in the city of Buckhannon and get the agenda off of. So is there any way that you could send a notice to all the residents stating that the city is looking at this? That's my concern, is have the citizens been given enough time to even know that this is going to happen?
I would imagine that a letter would have to be sent to each house. I mean, anytime there's a rate change in any of our utilities, anytime that there's any scheduling change of our utilities, we have to notify, and you'll receive, you know, I forget what it was. I think it was something to do with, well, it was with our water rates. Everybody got a letter explaining the process once the ordinance had passed, what the rates were going to be, and showing the chart as to what they were going to be, and showing the rationale for it. So
well, I know that's because of public service requires that, but I was just wondering, since this is, I mean, if this will be after you've been approved for your FEMA grant. That's what I'm saying, that once you're approved with that FEMA grant, you know, I mean, you know, I spent 42 years with the city, so I know pretty much when you get approved for a grant, it's going to happen. But my thing is the citizens, I don't feel, have had enough time to even know that this is going to happen. And I don't think that's right for them.
well, I mean, to that point though, how do we reach them? I mean, really, because, I mean, it is a citizen's responsibility to try to be as engaged as possible. I mean, I know it's a little bit different, but just up the street last week, I was in my store, and a lady who lives here came in and she said, I didn't even know this was here, and I live here, and I'm downtown 3 or 4 times a week. And I said, well, are you on social media? No. Do you get my Buckhannon? No. Do you get the Record Delta? No. Do you watch Channel 12 or Channel 5? No. Do you listen to the radio? No. I said, so let me ask you something. I said, can I just ask you? I said, how am I supposed to reach you? And she said, well, that's a good question. I don't know. She said, because I don't get anything, and I'm not subscribed to anything, and I don't look at anything. I said, so I guess the only way I would know to reach you is to know that you don't subscribe to any of that stuff. I would need to go to your house, knock on your door, and say, hello, Mrs. So-and-so. By the way, I have a new store on Main Street. I'd like you to check it out. And she kind of laughed, and she said, I guess so, because that's the only way I would know what's going on. I don't know that there's, my point in saying that is I just don't know that there's a way to reach everyone. I mean, we try. I mean, we make our meetings open to the public. We advertise our agendas. My Buckhannon covers it. Channel 3 covers it. The Record Delta covers them. We share on social media what goes on each and every week. Randy does a good job with that, of what's coming up and what's being discussed. I mean, we have information on our website, but I mean, we're not going to be able to reach everybody. Even we could drag this or any issue out for 6 months, and we still aren't going to reach anybody, no matter what we try.
I think it would be easy to reach. Everybody gets a tax ticket, whether it's a personal property tax for their vehicles, or their property ad valorem taxes for the property. So get that list from the courthouse, from the sheriff's office, and there you have your list to send to the residents.
Well, I mean, like I said, we can send a letter out for sure. I mean, to explain it. But I mean, it's outside of that. that hasn't happened yet because we're not to that point yet, but, because this is still just in the discussion piece of it, which is why the hearing is tonight. But we, outside of sending a letter, I mean, that's the only way, and that's if people even read their mail. I mean, if you go to the post office, anytime mail is sent out, I got a competitor's flyer in the mail, and I ran right over to the post office just to see, because I've been looking at, should I do direct mail? Stacks of them laying in the unwanted mail. I see I go over to the post office and get mail for the bank, and I see our own utility bills laying in the unwanted mail, and I'm like, I guess they just get auto-drafted, I don't know. I mean, maybe people they just look at it and be like, yep, I know it's due, and throw it away. But there is a ton of unwanted mail in the post office, and that's just what happens in the post office, let alone I get my mail at my house. And I'm like everybody else, I'm like, that looks important, and the rest of it goes in the shred box.
And I understand that, and I understand it might be a little difficult to get everybody. But I think you could get the majority of them. And I'm just saying that I don't think the majority of the residents of this city know what's about to happen to them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know, look, I know it's not convenient. I have a business and I have a house that it would affect, because neither one of them would stay the same. So I'd have to buy all new checks, all new business cards, change all my advertising, change my window lettering, change my online stuff, change all my utilities at both places, change I get it. It's not easy and it's not a fun process. But where this is coming from is all of these haves and A's and B's are going to someday soon not receive any of their mail, because the post office is not going to, they're not going to recognize the haves anymore. So in my neighborhood, across the street and up 2 houses from me is 178, 178 and a half, 178 or 178A, and then 180. So anything beyond those homes would have to all be changed, because how do you go from 178 and then 180, but then there's 180 here? That 180 then would move to that house.
But there's 230 of those, or
Oh, yeah.
200 and
Yeah.
whatever my Buckhannon had it.
So wherever you start on a particular street, so for example, like Fayette Street, I think has a half early on in the numbers. So anything after that would have to change anyway, because if where there's a half, and if it's 78, 78 and a half, and then 80, that 78 and a half would then be 80, and then everything would have to change beyond that.
Well, I'm just asking you to try to notify the residents of what's going to be happening, so.
Well, and we will. I mean, like I said, this is just the first part of this. We're just at the public hearing section now. It's not a done deal yet. We've got several steps left to go before we can even get to the point where we know it's going to happen. And at that point, this will generate, I'm sure, an article in my Buckhannon. This is being shown here on Channel 3. Minutes are being recorded. I mean, it's Record Delta's online. So, I mean, it's going to continue to be talked about to the point where there will be a lot more activity with it. This is probably what, 6 months?
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
I mean, the deadline is the end of January, and then they're just coming off their 2-month, work stoppage, so who knows where we are in the backlog. We haven't even submitted yet. We're not even in the queue.
Well, there's not an actionable item on the agenda tonight for this anyway.
No, it's just a public
No
hearing.
action.
This is required in order to submit the
Is it one public
application.
meeting, 2 public meetings? How many?
We don't know. They'll tell us that once they make a decision as to whether or not the grant's been approved.
But I get you. I do. I mean, if you ask me personally, do I want to change my addresses? No. But is it a pain? Yes. But I also want a clean city to where it makes sense and everybody has a chance to get their mail. I don't want anybody to go going forward with the opportunity that they could miss important documents coming to them because the post office can't recognize half or A or B or whatever these addresses are.
Well, I had a lady call me today, and she said that she had called the post office, and they told her that they were not, this was not because of them.
Yeah, well, they have backpedaled on that quite, because they were the ones that came, they physically came here when Jerry Arnold was still the Public Works Director, and yes, they were here, and that was their statement, that it was going to, there was going to come a time where the A's and the B's in the house were not going to be acceptable anymore. But then what happened was, from that meeting, and of course, what do you think happened? Everybody just kind of pointed at them. And so then people started going to the post office, and they didn't want everybody coming into the post office like yelling at them, shaking their finger at them.
Pretty much what my Buckhannon article stated.
Yeah. So then they started saying, well, wait a minute, no, this is the city of Buckhannon doing this. Well, we believe it or not, we do not like to walk around trying to inflict controversy. And I am not one that likes to, I like to, you've worked with me now enough to know, I like to just, I like smooth sailing. But, what they came to us with this, again, when Jerry was still the Public Works Director, and he brought it here, and there was representation here, and I think they probably thought it was going to be smoother. Like it was just going to be accepted and everybody would understand. They didn't anticipate people going down there physically and demanding to speak to the postmaster about changing their address, and so then it all went like that. So, but yes, that is where it came from, and I think Brian, I think we go back and look at that will be substantiated by the articles at the time and the minutes that we have from that time frame.
Okay.
So.
Well, all I'm asking is try to notify as many citizens that you can.
Sure, thank you.
Is there any, Chief Kimball, will you want to address anything from first responders?
As you all know, some of these concerns come from responses that we've had in the last couple of years. There's a lot of halves and Cs. The one that really comes to mind is 3.5C Latham Street, yes. We couldn't find it. And it's in an alleyway off of Young Avenue, or Young Lane back here off of Meade Street. We couldn't find it. So when you go up Shawnee Drive and you go from 88 Shawnee Drive to 263 Shawnee Drive, and the numbers change because you go into the county, or you go up Academy Street and 5's on the left and 269's on the right, it becomes very confusing. And a lot of houses have the numbers on their house, but some of the houses are offset, so they're very difficult to see. When you look in the city limits, you can go down many streets. Lower Drive, you have 12 Lower Drive on the right, 169 on the left. It's very confusing, especially at night. And I can stand here, not every house is on fire we respond to, so if the house is on fire, of course you'll be able to see smoke, but we run emergency medical calls. So if somebody's in cardiac arrest, it makes it very difficult. So I live in the county. I had to go through the county change whenever it happened. It wasn't, your bills come, there's a change of address slip on the back. You change your address, you mail it back. The most difficult part was my driver's license, but nowadays everything's online. So it was not, is it time consuming? Yes. Your bill comes, you write your check, you do whatever, you change the address on the back, you send it back in. They change your address. Probably the biggest change would be at the courthouse on your tax ticket. So it would be the most difficult. So your driver's license, you have a period of time before you have to renew it. So my thing is, with us responding 1,200-1,300 times a year, a lot of these streets are coming up problems. When you, like I said, the Sedgwick Street addresses, the Latham Street addresses, the other addresses in there, the alleyways, it becomes very difficult because you have the 3.5s, the 3.5 ABCs, then you have an apartment building that's 3, 2, 1, depending on how many floors it is. So it becomes very difficult. And you know, we talked about this 6 months ago in a council meeting when I approached you all about it too. So, you know, as far as first responders, the county addressing and mapping has helped us a lot out in the county. So, you know, I can't see it being a problem in the city. I realize people have to change their stuff. I had to change mine. It wasn't that difficult.
Just to your point from East Lincoln Street about the street signs, the vast majority would stay the same. The street names themselves wouldn't be changing. There may be a couple, because there are some duplicates. Like, for example, there are technically 2 railroad avenues that don't connect, that don't make any sense.
Yep.
There used to be 2 Madison Streets that didn't connect. They made no sense. You know, technically, I don't want to, but technically East and West Lincoln don't really line up. I mean, if you wanted to get nitpicky, you could say that East Lincoln is its own. But I mean, to the street names themselves are there. There wouldn't need to be a major change in street names. Just the numbers on.
Yeah, the signs are beautiful. They really make our city.
I've worked hard putting those things up, I tell you, so I don't want to change them either, but, and I think if it goes the same way as it did in the county, which I think it would, it's a new address every 10 feet.
Yes.
So then.
Every 1,000 feet is a mile.
Right.
That's how we know that. But
in the county, I don't live in the county, so but I actually love it, because when you're up on the Alexander Road and you see 9880 Alexander, you know that you're just about 10 miles from the game farm. It's kind of neat that you look at the mailbox numbers and know how far you are from the next major road intersection.
a couple big examples on top of those is when you go down College Avenue, anything with new construction has new address numbers. So 59 College Avenue is the college on the right. The 2 new buildings on the left have like a 280 and a 280. So you got 59 on the left, 280 on the left, on the right and on the left. So it becomes very confusing because back here it's 56 and then it becomes 280.
Mm-hmm.
Same way going out Route 20 North. When you get to new construction, the Sheets area, that area out there, anything built new has the new mapping and addressing numbers. So you go from a 2-digit number to a 3 or 4-digit number.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Isn't that the way to just fix the 230 problem addresses?
But that's not just 230.
It's
I
more
mean,
than that?
because like he said, once you fix one, so we had a
Anything
fire on
after
Fayette
it.
Street at 88 Fayette Street, and 88 and a half was in the same house. So if you make 88 and 90, then you gotta change everything beyond that, so.
How's that going to work with where there's like empty lots between houses? Are they going to be?
They
getting a
still,
number?
well, once you build a house, you establish
No,
that
but I'm
address.
saying, if there's 2 lots, say you're number 200, and the next house, and there's 2 lots between you, are you going to be 202, 204, and then the next one
Not with the county having
206?
an addressing.
No.
Yeah,
So you can't, you wouldn't have more than that many dwellings in a
Okay.
20-foot span.
okay,
There will be an addressable number every 10.56 feet.
okay.
So if it starts at 100, 10 feet up the road is 101, or, sorry, 102.
Okay.
You go up another 10 points, so the empty lots are going to be accounted for because
Okay,
it's going to
gotcha.
fall in that 10.56 increment somewhere along the line, and it will have, even though it's not assigned yet, it'll have a pre-assigned or predetermined number.
Once you build, you call and get a address,
Right.
and they give you that address.
Well,
So-
I remember when we went through this years ago, when Mitch Tacey was the fire chief, and he was complaining then and about a lot of people's houses only have little numbers, and we really discussed about pushing and mandating at least a 4-inch black number on the homes, because sometimes you can't even see those numbers on the houses when you know, an emergency, and if you don't have something to find the location. But yeah, it was basically because of the emergency,
Yes.
not.
And that's
not
the
the
original
post
reason
office.
why the county addressing and mapping happened was for emergency use.
Well, I kind of agree that it's going to be, I wish they could just, for the 230, that we could do something other than messing up everybody's.
But if you do the
addresses.
230, it's going to affect a lot more. I mean, it depends on where they're at on the street, so.
Right, right.
I'll just add a quick note, and you can attest, living in the city, but I spoke to some folks that I think just now they were getting notices that the post office was setting a deadline on, you had to make your changes. So there was, after implementation in the county, and correct me if I'm wrong, but after that implementation, there was a significant time after that,
Oh, yeah.
that citizens had to comply.
It was 3 years.
Upwards of 3 years.
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
The people in the city got that
County?
county?
Yeah, the city opted out at that point in time.
Yeah, I thought,
So, you have any more questions? I mean, I can
No,
go on and
that's-
on about
that's all right.
addresses.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
All right.
Thank you, Chief. Yes, sir.
Okay. Again, this is just a public hearing. There's no decision tonight. Nothing is happening tonight. It is a long process ahead. So we wanted to establish a public hearing tonight to hear from people. So there will be more to come on the subject matter as we get into 2026.
JD's better.
And Mayor, just before I take off and leave, before I take off and get out of your all's hair, again, it's a new requirement, a new process. At the end of the council meeting tonight, if you all could each sign the respective public meeting sign-in sheets, and then I will scan those and attach them to the applicable applications. And that's all I've got.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jay. All right, if no one else wishes to address the council relative to the public hearing about the proposed E911 addressing project, I would declare that public hearing, is also closed at 7:28. I didn't record the time for the other one, but
I got it.
thank y'all.
thank you.
Nancy, if you want to meet up later for a fourth time, I mean, you just let me know.
Okay, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'm dressed.
What?
Well, we had Consolidated this morning,
Never
and then
mind.
we had Stockert, and now we're here, and
know.
so, you know. All right,
Mike, your ear picked up something else.
now, let's call the regular meeting to order at 7:29. And we would observe our moment of silent reflection, followed by the pledge, please. Thank you very much. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I would draw your attention to line item 5 on the agenda, at which I'd ask for you to motion and second and approve the meeting minutes from the 20th of November. If there are no additions or corrections, would you do that, please?
So moved.
Motion by Rob, is there a second? Second. Second by Jack. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. Up next, we've got recognition of guests, and Leadership Upshur is first on the agenda with their service project update. So, Leadership Upshur representatives.
I won't take very long, but I wanted to come and give you guys a quick update before I turn the floor over to some of our participants. We've had our 4th session, so we did an Upshur County Day, which we really focused on ideas for the service project. We've done an education day, we've done a government day where we made a trip to Charleston and visited with some leaders down there. And then we just recently on Wednesday had our healthcare day, where we spent the day with Skip and Chrissy Walker hearing about leadership in healthcare. And then we actually visited the public safety complex and heard about leadership with first responders from Chief Gregory and the fire department. And then we toured the OR up at the hospital. But they have this is some of our participants. They'll introduce themselves. They have chose their service project for this year. So I'm gonna let them give you an update on what that looks like for them. And I'll turn the floor over to them. Thank you. But I'll have a stapler at home too.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Angie Hess from Community Care.
I am Lily Hicks and I work for the West Virginia Department of Commerce.
Awesome. And I'm Courtney Lukasevic. I'm an HR business partner for Vandalia Health, which means I get to travel the entire state and partner on anything HR with our leadership team. So thanks for having us. We're really excited. My computer is frozen, so my screen's white. You can see a start to a slideshow. I know. It's gone. All right, that's okay. We won't worry about it.
Oh, no, really?
I know. Oh, and here it is. Hold on. Let's try it one more time.
There we go.
There you go. All right, is it going to move? Maybe. All right, so we just wanted to let you know what our project scope is as we continue our journey through Leadership Upshur. I can't believe that we're about halfway there. It's incredible, it's gone really fast. So what we want to do is talk about what our plans are, and that is to actually work with the team in the back there at Appalachian Impact and make sure that they can continue on their journey to having an interactive children's museum on Main Street. So how we plan to do that is leverage our volunteer skills and our hard work to help them paint, do some physical labor, but not only that, leverage our leadership skills to get them some sponsorships, network within the community that we have, to also get them some kind of things for the future too, hopefully. So what we plan to do is 2 6-hour days, totaling of 12 hours of labor, so that does not include any additional fundraising that we're doing or work within our network. We'd like to raise funds to acquire our paint and tools so that they don't have to bring that forth themselves. We're also looking to add a mini children's stage so that they can have some interactive and imaginative play. We're also looking to have 2 businesses sponsor interactive booths. That would provide them with revenue monthly. It would be a sponsorship by month. And then establish a framework for future volunteer opportunities through our network. So we do plan to do this the end of January. So get through the holidays, and as we're on that January downhill slide, be able to get in and network with them and do some of that work. And I do have pictures in my slideshow that is not moving on your screen, but it is on mine. So if anybody wants to see those photos, let me know, and I'm happy to share. So I want to open it to any questions you all have.
The 2 booths for the businesses, these are going to be
Within the Children's Museum,
Cool.
yeah. And so the idea behind those are, it's a sponsorship from the business, but they can have those booths kind of mimic what their business does. So if a hospital sponsors it, it may be, a nursing station that the children can interact with and play with. A lot of STEM opportunity there as well, which I think is really great for the children in our community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where's this located?
It is, so the old H&R Block building.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions?
Do you know about, for business sponsorships, what are you looking for in terms of monetary?
I believe it's $100 monthly
That was what we had said, and
Okay.
$1,000 for a year.
for a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Can you send us that?
I can
Yeah.
send it to you.
That'd be
yes.
great.
Very much.
No
Yeah,
problem.
We'll make it a part of the
Yeah,
minutes.
absolutely. Happy to do so.
I mean, I think it's a great
Yeah.
idea, and it's something that perhaps could be a part of an even bigger vision or project later on. We've had lengthy discussion at Stockard Youth and Community Center board meetings about rechanneling what was going to be a gymnasium across the street into turning that into a robust STEM center, focusing solely on hands-on education in not only just Upshur County, but in the entire region of our state and beyond. we are, it really came down to building a gym was going to be an extreme undertaking, a $7-8 million project that we were really not, we didn't have the wherewithal to be able to complete. And this community has 17 gyms. So it wasn't so much a space issue, but maybe a scheduling issue on that front. But what we do not have are hands-on learning opportunities for kids. And when you start talking about what is there to do here, when people say, that's the first thing they want to, what is there to do for my family? What is there to do? Yes, we have parks, yes, we have outdoor opportunities, but when it's this time of year, what is there to do? Not much. And so that's where those conversations started coming from, and there are, until the administration changed up in DC, there were significant grant opportunities for STEM research centers and hands-on learning opportunities. Grant funding is not plentiful right now, as we all know. But there's still far more opportunities to receive grant funding for hands-on learning than there is for playing basketball and recreation. Not that that's not important, it is, but we see what's going on in our local community and across the state. Education's kind of under attack, and we've got to find a solution to combat that, and what can we do to create an opportunity for kids to come here and learn. So I think you're definitely on the right path. I think this could be part of our project across the street too, seeing as how they're within a stone's throw of each other. So I applaud leadership Upshur for taking the steps to lead in a way that would focus on bringing up the next generation.
It's about access, right? That's the goal.
Yep.
So build it and they'll come.
Yep.
But they can't always travel. So let's get some access here.
Yep. Agreed.
I was going to say one more thing. If you guys remember, so our children are 21 and 18. But David Oldacre that had the bookstore used
Yes.
to have, I think your mom probably did.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. And I mean, one Saturday it was a Japanese theme and the kids learned characters and how to write them in origami and making things. And a lot of it was STEM. That might be someone you guys could talk. He just had someone come in, and then he sold the bookstore and he just left. But it was, our kids looked so much forward to that Saturday for like 3 hours, just because it was hands-on and it was interactive and it wasn't just sitting watching,
Yeah, I think it'd be good for families too. I always like to say, I'm in human resources, so like I'm a lifelong learner, and I preach that every day to all of my staff. And I get to travel and talk to 20,000 employees with my company. So I would love to see some interaction with the adults too, right? Like how do we get them learning together?
Agreed. Well, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Yes, if you would send that to us, we'd love to see it.
Absolutely.
Or be able to have it for our records.
Sure. Stop sharing. Give you control back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I don't think Wyatt is here with us tonight.
I don't know if anyone else is from Wesleyan tonight. No, Wyatt is not.
Well, it's finals time, so they're probably...
Right.
Okay. Is there anybody else here that wants to address City Council for anything, for public comment? Going once, going twice. Okay. So that concludes our public comment section for tonight. Let's go down to begin our department reports, and we'll begin with Amby. Who wants to come and talk to us about some money?
Again. Fourth time today. 4 meetings.
She stood for the pledge every time.
Take it on it. Okay, financial report, I'm going to give you the balances for general fund, consolidated, those type of, not our enterprise funds. I'll give you the balances for the other funds. November 25 general fund money market and checking $1,213,000, a CD at $89,000. Historic landmark savings $3,045. Poll taxes at $45,605. Municipal stabilization $971,000, flood control, $78,000, consolidated public works board has $190,116 in money market and checking, and cemetery CD at $241,000. Sales tax is at $2,024,000. The American Rescue Plan account is now zeroed out. We've expensed all of those monies. The final ones went towards the water plant project. Opioid accounts at $106,000. Stockard, what was originally the capital campaign donations is at $307,000. General fund revenues for the month of November were $296,000 and expenditures were $469,000. So we had a little less revenues this year than, or this month than we would normally have. We didn't get a big influx of ad valorem taxes or B&O. All of your bills are in your packet to review, but the ones I'm going to point out to you is $2,500 we expensed to JC Films approved by council, contribution towards their filming here in Buckhannon. $5,100 to Appalachian Equipment for an undercarriage part for the excavator. $3,800 to Ace Materials Concrete for North Florida Street. $2,400 Metheny Contracting for topsoil and backfilling of all projects. And then $3,200 Valley Steel Service for metal for the training facility. And that's all I had for that part of the financial report.
Okay. Any questions for Andy? I entertain a motion that we approve the payment of our bills, some of what she just noted in her report.
So moved.
Motion by Pam, second by Rob. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That's not opposed, motion carries. Okay, next we need to talk about, let's just roll up, let's talk about the renewal for firemen's insurance services.
In your packet, I put just the brief synopsis of the volunteer fire insurance. The city pays that for the Buckhannon Volunteer Fire Department. It's all of the fire truck equipment and anything as far as volunteer fire department is concerned. The premium that's expiring is $30,669. The renewal quote came in at $31,124. So a difference, a very minimal difference. It went up by maybe 1.5%. We need to renew that, and it seems very reasonable, the rate, the increase in it. But you can review that. Not much to change there.
Well, as expected, I mean, where the increase is in auto, and that's pretty consistent in the insurance world across the board right now.
Yeah, Jamie Powell helps that, but this is through Bill Bailey Insurance.
Well, Mayor, if it's okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
That's fine with me. So Randy has motioned that we approve the renewal quote for the VFIS coverage. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jack. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Like some opposed, motion carries. And let's talk about a call for election.
Okay, we have to do this prior to all of the filing for the election for next year. So May 12th, 2026 is the next election that the city council members, certain council members and the recorder will be filing. So this is a general election for the city of Buckhannon. It's called to be held Tuesday, May the 12th, 2026, for the purpose of the election of the recorder's position for a 4-year term and 2 council member positions at large for 4-year terms. And that would have been the seat that's currently being held by council member Randall and the one that was previously held by council member Dave Thomas. So persons interested in filing for those offices may begin on Monday, January 12th, 2026, and they can file not later than Saturday, January 31st in City Hall. Hours in person filing for the final day on January 31st is from 9 to noon. Mailed in certificates of announcements deadline, they have to be postmarked by midnight on January 31st, 2026. If you do sign up and then decide to withdraw, the last day to do that is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. The drawing for the position on the ballot will take place Tuesday, February 24th at 9 a.m. at the Upshur County Courthouse. We run our elections through the same actions that the county takes. We've consolidated that. That's been a good thing to do. So all voters must be registered and must vote in the particular precinct that they're registered to vote in. And then just filing fee for that is the council seat would be $5. So you pay $5 when you make your certificate of announcement. And then for recorder, it's $7.50. Now there's the option, if you can't afford that, you can apply for a waiver.
Good to know.
For the people, how long do you have to be a resident in the city to be able to run for council?
They have to be registered both with the county, with the county.
With the county, not
I'll be
just the city?
45.
That if you're registered vote with the state and the county in the city of Buckhannon, you can vote.
But you don't have, okay.
Yeah, the charter has some different rules that the state overrides.
Yes, Dennis?
What are the dates for the Strawberry Festival, and does this fall within those dates?
Sometimes it's Strawberry Festival week, but it usually doesn't. I mean, it's happened before. Strawberry Festival Saturday will be the 16th, so yes, it will be that week of Strawberry Festival, but
Okay,
it's happened before, so.
all right, thank you.
Anything else, Andy?
Not unless you want to know the salaries.
Don't depress us.
It's serving your public, not the money.
Actually, you know what? Go ahead. They need to know, because I think they think we're up here just wielding, you know, money.
Yeah, council seats pay $200 a month for the council seat. And then if they're on a board, they can be on one board, they can get $200 per month for that. So 200 salary for council, 200 salary for the board that they're on. The recorder gets $500 a month for being the recorder for the city. And then they get $800 total for all of the other meetings that they have to attend, which, again, I just had told you we had 4 today. So all of those.
Racking it up.
You divide that by, you probably get, what, $10 a meeting, it feels like. But, so that's the salary of the recorder.
Rolling in it up here.
Yeah, that's just an announcement for the public.
Okay.
All right, so I'd entertain a motion that we go ahead and post that call for election 2026.
So moved.
Motion by Pam, second by Rob. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. That's unopposed, motion carries. All right, Andy, thank you. All right, up next is our Public Works Director.
Ethan.
Who only makes $100 per meeting.
And probably about averages out to that, as many as we have. Street department, we're finishing up North Florida Street. We have one pour left. Hopefully we will get that completed next week. And then still working on a couple of the participation or citizen participations on Cooper Street. Then we'll be hopefully wrapping up some of our capital projects for the year and moving into some more maintenance during the cold months. The curb along Buckhannon Street is completed on the western side of the street. They're beginning to work on the eastern side to finish that block. So they will have that done hopefully in the next few weeks, and have it ready to pave in the spring. And we also completed all the Christmas decorations. We're waiting on a few more strands of lights that connect to what's already on trees and the planters to wrap around them a little bit further. But it's 95% complete.
Do you have a delivery date on them yet?
Tomorrow. So depending on the time, they might be up tomorrow afternoon.
How about that?
And
Yeah. Well, you're not leaving till they're up, so we'll pay you another $100.
Make a call. Waste department, we hired a new collection driver. They're starting the first of the year. They're part of the National Guard, so they were out on duty in the month of December, so working around that a bit. Sewer, we're continuing on Henry Street. Worked with DOH a bit to repair drop inlet by South Buckhannon Mission Church along Marion Street. And we're repairing a drop inlet on South Florida Street that was damaged during a gas leak. Stormwater, met with all of the property owners. We're going through a second round of appraisals for the property on Taylor Street, hopefully moving along with that as Jay's deadline is approaching for the grant application. Water, the crews have been completing some maintenance, still moving forward on the design of the water treatment plant and some other items necessary for that. Engineering, the roof replacement bid package is just about complete. It'll be on the library board for next week, and we are expecting a late January or February advertising period. Hopefully that project will begin in April of 26. The North Locust Street sidewalk and lighting project, and consolidated, we discussed that and believe we're going to look at some other options. Having some issues with property owners and easements on that one. There's some other sidewalks need to be replaced around town. Colonial Art Center is still working on the HVAC. There's some existing conditions that need addressed before proceeding too much further, including the relocation of some lights and wiring and things of that nature. Then, as mentioned, Taylor Street, waiting on the second round of appraisals, and on the mural project along North Locust Street, that we're waiting on a decision to take place on the DOH's grant for that, and hopefully in the next couple weeks. And I think that's all I have for my report tonight. If there are any questions.
Any questions for Ethan? Well, thank you for getting the Christmas decorations up. I think our new wreaths look great. Our new garland is much brighter than years past. It's cleaner, for one thing. So thanks to the downtown decorating committee for meeting and working on that, and then our street department for getting that up. I think our downtown looks really nice, and you know, for the first time ever, we have decorated the side streets, and so they look nice as well. So
yeah, you guys did a good job on it, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
All right, up next, oh wait, sorry. Before JB comes up, we have the report of the zoning and code enforcement with the approval of our building and wiring permits. They were emailed out this afternoon, they're in your packet. Is there a motion to approve those as presented?
So moved.
Look at you.
Oh, give it to rigor. That's
Is
right.
there a second?
Second.
Second by Robert. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Usually I have to abstain. That's why the reaction.
All right, up next, Fire Chief J.B. Kimball. Good evening.
Good evening again. In your all's packet, as usual, is our year-to-date through October and the October incidents. Call volume for 2025 over 2024 is up 4.5%. I'll have a quick record of fires, major incidents at the end of the year for you all. We will be switching the software programs as I spoke last meeting, so it'll be a progress in work. So we'll see how that goes. As you all know, tomorrow night, the Christmas parade. It's going to be Christmas-y weather, so dress for it. Santa will be in the ladder truck. Santa will be at the firehouse afterwards. We had a little snafu today. The church that normally does hot chocolate at the firehouse, they had a death in their congregation. So I talked to Steve Wyckoff, and the CERT team is going to step up and be able to provide hot chocolate there. So that will continue. Look for a big crowd. Weather will not deter, hopefully, everybody coming out to see the lights that the city crews have put up. It's, you know, Jawbone's very beautiful this time of year. As Amby spoke about the training facility, we're getting to the point where the first floor is almost completed, to where we can separate the second and first floor, and hopefully as I get into the next line item here, our new hire will get some live burn training in our training facility in hopefully January. So when that happens, I'm sure I'll let you all know, so you can come, you can partake if you want. I don't think, you probably would rather watch than partake, but come out and see what we're doing. The new hire, I would ask the mayor if we could pin Josh Byers on December 18th, which is not my meeting, it's Matt's meeting, but since you all won't work January 1st, so his start date's January 5th, so I'd like to get him pinned before his start date, so if that's okay with you all.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Mental wellness program, myself, Kimbra from 911, and Patrolman Bender from the City PD just completed our 12-week life coaching class that you all took opioid money and paid for. It was a great class, and it's really expanded. You know, now we have roughly 8 to 9 coaches in our mental wellness region of Upshur, Lewis, and Randolph County. We're seeing some results on that because we've had some incidents in other counties where first responders have needed some help, and the coaching process and peer support system is working. So that's what we like to hear, is the stories of that working. I would like to thank West Virginia Wesleyan College. Yesterday we started having bi-monthly mental wellness peer support meetings. The group of Scott's sister and her cohorts over at Wesleyan are on top of this. I mean, they're all in. Yesterday we went over for a luncheon. When we started 6 months ago, there was 4 people attending these meetings. Yesterday there was 24. So as people come and see what we're doing, more people get on board. The word gets out. The word gets out when people need help, they call. So that's what it's about. So this program is really progressing. Actually, I talked to the guys from Battalion 1 Consultants the other day, and I think Barber County is getting ready to jump on board too. So hopefully we can start gathering counties, because none of us have enough resources if there is a major incident to deal with it. So I'd like to congratulate Alyssa Rohr and Jonathan Warner. Both of them joined the Buckhannon Volunteer Fire Department. They just completed their Firefighter 1 stuff. They're raring to go. You know, the calls come in. You know, I remember the days when the pager would go off and you're like, ah, and now you're like, you know. So, but they're in that stage. So tickled to death that they're there. They're doing a good job. Very serious about it. Marcus Miller, who had been off for an extended period of time, he injured himself playing softball, assisting with the Special Olympians softball tournaments. He blew his knee out, and he's finally back to work, and I know he's tickled to death to be back to work. And on a good note, if you remember, almost this time last year, we had several animal rescues, dogs over in North Buckhannon on a structure fire. We responded almost to the Webster County line, manpower, to assist Rock Cave the other day. And 2 of our firemen, Ethan Smith and Shane Jenkins, rescued the property owner's cat. And so we're tickled to death about that.
Is that the one on top of Cleveland Mountain?
Yes. So 37-minute drive for us to get there. So, yeah. But we made a difference when we got there, and that's what matters. So, if you want, Christmas dinner next Saturday, Buckhannon Fire Department, 6 o'clock. Please attend if you can. Santa will be there, so you're more than welcome. I will be sending an invite out to the county commission this week coming. So if they can make it, I'd like to get everybody down there. Hopefully we'll have a big group this year. I think last year we had 59. We've had several more people come in. And I'd like to congratulate Joey Baxa. Joey Baxa and his significant other today are proud owners of twins this morning. So yeah, Joey stopped at the firehouse. He looked like death warmed over because he's been up for a few days. and I'm sure that's probably going to continue for a while. Yeah. But congratulations to them. So if y'all don't have any questions, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
City Attorney Tom O'Neill, good evening.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. It's good to be with you. The only thing on my agenda item today is just to get your formal approval for the acquisition of 166 and 176 Wood Streets. These two properties for the location for the new water treatment plant. And we're attempting negotiations, but it looks like we may have to proceed with condemnation route, and this vote would also be your formal authorization for us to file that action if it was
necessary.
needed, if necessary.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Rigger, second by Mr. Sanders. Is there any further discussion on that matter? Hearing the need for none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Neal. And happy belated birthday yesterday.
Oh, yes,
was-
happy birthday, hadn't it?
All right, under new business, we've got some appointments to make. I'd ask for your blessing to appoint Eric Kerr as the city representative on the Upshur County Recreation Board. This is different than the city of Buckhannon Parks and Recreation Board. This one is really specifically driven to manage the park up near the pool at the high school. So would you approve Eric Kerr of Smithfield Street for that appointment?
So moved.
Motion by Randy, second by Rob. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. We have two vacancies on the Planning Commission, and I'd ask for you to approve Roger Marsh of South Canala Street and Paula McGrew of West Lincoln Street on that board.
I'll make that motion.
Scott will motion, Pam will second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right, that takes us down to council comments and announcements. We'll begin over here with Scott.
Just some thank yous. Appreciate folks coming out to express their concerns and also hopefully gain some knowledge about the readdressing. It was great to hear JB on a 20 person increase from the 4 that they started out with the mental health program, and looks like gaining from adjacent counties as well. The need is obviously needed or there. Hope everyone comes out tomorrow for the parade. Experience the wonderful decorations we have up. Thank you.
Thank you. Pam?
True does everything he says. Nothing else I can add.
All right. Jack?
I want to comment on the Christmas decorations, and I think they look great. And what was this, the first time we've done the side streets downtown?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's marvelous. It looks good, and it's worth mentioning. And of course, the mental health program, JB, that is a large encouragement, huge encouragement, I should say.
Thank you all for your support.
And I want to commend the County Commission on their effort to get some action on the gasoline prices here in Buckhannon. If you drive to Weston, there's a major disparity. And I do know that the mayor a few years ago sought answers as to why there is such a disparity between the two communities. And I think Elkins is even cheaper as well, I recall. And it does not seem right. And I wish the County Commission well and success in this endeavor. That's all I have.
Thanks, sir. Robert?
We talked about this morning at the Consolidated Public Works, just thank you to the city employees for doing such a quick switch over to get ready for the parade tomorrow night. Everything looks great, the new wreaths look great, side streets are great. Hopefully everyone can come out tomorrow night, the weather's not going to be too awful bad. Thanks for the certs to take over the hot chocolate to help with that. And then the premiere of Hank's Christmas as well is coming up. There's a lot happening for the holidays, and then Rudolph as well. It's good.
Thanks, sir. Randy?
All right, Mr. Mayor, before I do the report, I do want to add to what Mr. Rigger said. I know a lot of folks have understanding. They think that we collect taxes off of the gas sales in Buckhannon. The city does not. have any taxes.
No municipality does.
There's no municipality gets any taxes on gasoline sales. So just hopefully clear that up. I'm sure that won't satisfy everyone, but we collect zero on gas sales as it is across the state.
It is a state tax. I believe it's in the neighborhood of 55 cents a gallon is the state tax rate per gallon of gas.
Correct.
But they are the only ones that are collecting any tax off of it.
And the other thing, normally, social media really doesn't bother me too much. I've been in the business for so many years that I was kind of telling the mayor when somebody blasts me on social media, I think, hey, they know me. I didn't realize they knew me. So, but just a little patience out there. There was a big brouhaha about our Christmas decorations before Thanksgiving. And we all know up here, our street department works extremely hard, as do all of our departments. Our first responders, our streets, all the departments work extremely hard. And there was a schedule in place, and that schedule for this year had them doing Main Street on the Monday following Thanksgiving. And lo and behold, social media over the weekend prior to that just blew up about how horrible the decorations were. There were no decorations, but a little patience, I mean, I know that it's, hey, first person post, it just opens up the floodgates. And again, I'm not one to let it bother me, but I just feel bad for our street department crews. They had to read that stuff too, knowing full well that they were going to be out in the bad weather on Monday after Thanksgiving, putting up street decorations, which is what was scheduled. So, a little patience out there. To the recorder's report, we have a few things to talk about. Weyerhaeuser Thrive Buckhannon Community Development Survey is out there. So I'd be remiss if I didn't put a little plug in for the STEM Center that we talked about for Stockert Youth and Community Center. Hopefully Weyerhaeuser may look favorably upon helping fund part of that. I think with all the other programs that are being offered in our area, that would be a wonderful addition and possibly help provide a house, bigger area for folks to gather in and have interactive learning procedures. Buckhannon Fire Department will have the Christmas parade tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. So again, once more, we'll invite you to attend the parade on coming down Main Street. Head down to the fire department, spend some time with Santa Claus, have some hot chocolate by the Surts. And then, afterwards, make your way out to the event center at Brushy Fork, because we will be having Hank's Christmas Wish 3 Elvis Lives movie presentation, free to the public. So come out to the event center at Brushy Fork. That begins at 7:30, so that gives you some time to enjoy everything here with the Christmas parade. Go to the fire department, have that experience, head out there and catch some of that movie. We have the annual menorah lighting on Jawbone Park on December 14th at 7 p.m. City Hall will be closed from 12 noon to 2 p.m. on December 16th for the staff holiday party. And we have canceled the city council meeting on New Year's Day, January 1st, 2026, because of the holiday. Upcoming events at the event center Brushy Fork, I mentioned Hank's Christmas Wish 3 movie tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Saturday evening, there's still tickets available for the Holiday Fantastic Elimination Dinner, and that's going to help our four-legged friends throughout the community. Then we have some private events, but they're worth noting. We have the West Virginia Army National Guard 601st holiday celebration is Sunday at the event center. We have a couple of corporate parties. I can tell you that Edward Jones is having their corporate party there this coming week, and also Buckhannon Toyota is having their Christmas party there this week. On the 16th, Rotary Club of Buckhannon Upshur will have their holiday dinner, and then on the 17th, the West Virginia Army National Guard USPFO will have their holiday celebration. So that's what's going on throughout the city.
I want to add something, Robbie. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Jr. started tonight, and I'm pretty sure all four shows are sold out, aren't they, Tina?
I have one ticket left for 3 p.m. on Saturday. That's it.
Wow.
One ticket for 3 p.m. on Saturday at the Chamber Hall.
And there's like 37 kids, I think, in there.
All right, thank you all. I thought you were going to go into an Al Roker.
Well, you know what? I kind of felt like that. There for a minute, I felt like I was back on the radio, give a traffic report.
I think we should have one of those.
Yeah, we should.
All right, I don't think I have anything else to add from what everybody else has said. At, what is that, 8:12?
At 8:12.
I entertain a motion that we adjourn. All right, thank you all.
Is that right?